Hello, my friends. Another day, another video, but not another watch. No, today we are watch adjacent, and you've seen the thumbnail. We're taking a look at a watch winder from our friends over at Gochifix. Gochifix? Gochifix? I'm pretty sure it's pronounced one of those two things. I'll pop the name up on the screen. You pronounce it however you want to, but this thing looks really pretty. I've been using it for a little while, and I want to give my thoughts on it because I think there's a very compelling value proposition here for those of you who may be in the market for a watch winder, but you don't want to spend the kind of prices that some brands are charging for them. I think this might be a solution for you. This is a paid promotion. You saw the pop-up in the corner. I was sent this watch winder to review. I do not have to send it back. I get zero monetary compensation, and Gochifix does not get to review this video, my opinions, or anything before it's posted, and you get your grubby little hand, I guess not your hands, but your eyes and ears on it. But it's pretty nice, and I'm keeping it. I'm using it. Maybe you'll get some use out of it too. Let's go ahead and get to the top-down angle and take a look at everything that this has to offer. Sometimes you realize that the top-down setup is geared for watches, not watch winders, and you have to abort a mission. So I guess we're just going to manhandle this thing for the duration of this review. The Gochifix dual watch winder, spoiler alert, gets the job done. And if you listen very closely, you may not hear this running. It's advertised to have a Japanese motor. It doesn't give you motor specs. I'm not enough of a nerd to look up motor specs. That's just me. I don't know about you, but I can attest. This is right next to my ear and right next to the microphone, and it is plenty quiet. This is not something that's going to disturb a sleeping partner when it's sitting on the bedside table, so to speak. Looking at the fit and finish of this, it's pretty nice. So the top here is kind of a wood grain, and that wood grain is, if I can get it in focus here, is a veneer. It doesn't seem to be printed. I've seen plenty of, wood grain that is printed. You can actually see the pixels. It's a really bad look. This is a veneer that is then finished in kind of a piano gloss, like high gloss. The sides actually are piano black. And there you get a good look at how much of a fingerprint magnet this is. So it's a good thing that they include a microfiber cloth in the box because you're going to use it when you're moving it around. But once it's in place, you shouldn't be moving it around that much. And unless you're catching direct reflections, right? Like it's just a nice classy look from the side. So the piano black, nice finish. I'm not seeing really any imperfections here. The veneer on top is a nice touch. Is it necessary? I don't think so. I think the whole thing could have been piano black and it would have been just fine. Probably would have gone with a little bit more decor if it was all black and neutral. That's one thing that I would change about it. The thing that I wouldn't change about it, I take that back. I would change one thing about this next feature. The blue lights. The lights in here are very cool. I love that it illuminates. It gives life to the watch winder when it's in use, and even when it's not in use. Obviously the watches are not winding currently, but we are still lit up. I wish those were kind of some RGB LEDs, because the only color they light up is blue. I would like to change the colors on those. Really get nitpicky about this stuff. The other one nitpick I had about it is the interior. While the interior is nice, it is kind of this cream color. Here, get it nice and close so you can see. That cream colored interior, personally, this is all subjective, but hey, it's my review. So I'm going to toss my opinions in here. I wish it was black. I just wish it was black. While we're here, you can take a closer look at oh man, it's really hard to get an up close and personal look at those dials because it's so reflective. It's not catching much light. Okay, so this is much easier to see with your actual eyes, but you can kind of see it here that there are some directions. There are different settings on each of these dials. So you can independently set each of these winders based on the winding rotation and duration preferences that you want your watches to wind at. So the first setting all the way to the left is going to be off. And then from off, you're going to be winding here. That's a little bit better. You're catching my shirt in the background so you can kind of see the arrows against the reflection. So that first setting after off is going to be clockwise rotation, then counterclockwise rotation, then bidirectional rotation, then bidirectional rotation again. And to make sure I'm not messing anything up, I'm just going to RTFM, you know? So obviously mode 1 is the off switch. The clockwise position is going to turn the watch for 2 minutes and then break for 13 minutes. That's the cycle. 2 minutes on, 13 minutes on, 2 minutes on, 13 minutes off, so forth. And that is a 12 hours on and then 12 hours off cycle. The reverse rotation, which would be technically the third mode, but so you have off, you have clockwise, you have counterclockwise, which is going to do the exact same thing, just in the opposite direction. And then you have both directions for bidirectional winding watches. That's going to turn the watch for 2 minutes, break for 18 minutes, then turn in the opposite direction for 2 minutes, break for 18 minutes. And then that cycle is 12 hours on, then 12 hours off. And then the last mode, there my watch is just kicked back up and they're rotating again. The last mode is, again, so on here, it says that it's a bidirectional mode. On the manual, it says that it's a clockwise rotation mode. So I'm not 100% sure what it does. Is it forward and reverse? I believe it's a bidirectional winding. It's a little confusing. Come on, Gochifix, fix your manual, make it match the inscription on here. But that will be 4 minutes clockwise, 28-minute break, and then 4 minutes counterclockwise with a 28-minute break. And that's, again, a 12-hour on, 12-hour off cycle. The goal here is to keep your watches wound without overwinding. And I know that the mainsprings and the greases and the lubricants are made in a way, especially on automatic watches, which this is intended for, is not going to overwind. But if you're winding it too much, you're just causing undue wear and tear to your watch. So that's what these kind of winding cycles will prevent. Take a screenshot of the manual if you want a clearer explanation. I'm sure it sounded like my mouth was full of marbles when I was explaining it, but that's kind of what we're looking at here. Outside of that, there's not a whole lot more to go over. The door doesn't lock. This is not glass. It's a plexiglass. It's actually a nice piece of very transparent plexiglass. So decent quality stuff. You have a nice little chrome handle pull. And then the way that this secures is just a friction fit. You can kind of see the little silicone band right here. And that is just a friction fit press into the hole, and you're nice and secure. Obviously, I'm holding this thing, and you can see that it's working without being plugged in, which I think is really, really cool, especially as somebody who's now having to lift this thing up and hold it up to the camera, because this will run, and I currently have it running off of 2 D batteries. Now, you don't have to go through batteries on this thing. It does come with an auxiliary plug, and you can see that in the back. So you got your here, what hand am I using? Here, we got our auxiliary plug right here. This is the on-off switch, like the master on-off switch for the entire winder. This over here is a on-off switch for the lights. So if you want the winder to be on, but you don't want the lights to be on, you can do that. And then this red switch, this red switch confuses me, because the manual says that the red switch, I want to use their words, not mine, right? The manual says that that is a self-stop switch. I don't know what we are self-stopping here, right? Actually, the Sorry, the red switch is for the LED lights. So that's denoted in red. But this black switch, it says that it's a self-stop switch. But as much as I try that self-stop switch, I don't see anything selfing or stopping. It's just one of those things that confuses me. I don't know what the switch is for. I do not know why it is there. Gochifix, please toss a comment down there and let us know what that self-stop switch actually does. At the end of the day, this is a nicely finished box. It holds watches. It winds them. It turns them in the proper direction for the proper duration of time. The one other thing I really want to point out about this, super, super happy, is that these pillows, as somebody with an 8-inch wrist, I thought for sure that these were going to be puny little pillows that were going to slip right through my watch straps and bracelets. But as you can see, this is quite secure. It's not going anywhere. And they are quite squishy. Like there's a lot of give to these in pretty much all directions. Here, let me try to illustrate that a little bit better. I'm just going to take the watch off. But if you're looking at this, these have a lot of give to them. And this material isn't going to cause any harm to your watch whatsoever. So, speaking for me, nice and secure for the watch of someone with an 8-inch wrist. So if you're in that camp like I am, you don't have to worry about your watches falling off. They're going to be held nice and secure by this winder. Let's go ahead and stick it back in here, just so you can see what I'm doing. We may as well just do it on camera. When we stick it back in, it's just kind of a friction fit, straight back in. The one small concern that I have, and I haven't been using this enough to tell whether or not this is going to happen, is that when these, here, let me turn this on. When these friction fit back in, the surrounds that you see lit up right now that they friction fit into are plastic. Since I have watches on straps, not on bracelets, I'm not sure if over time that's going to cause a bit of a burnishing effect on the strap in the places where it makes contact with the plastic. So it's possible that the straps might get slightly burnished over a long period of time due to that friction that holds the watch securely in the winder. Only time will tell. It's possible that it's not going to be an issue at all, but it's possible that it could be a thing. And to kind of remedy that, I would suggest that Gochifix maybe lines those contact points in some sort of a suede or a faux suede, or I don't know, maybe even like a jersey cotton, some sort of maybe a silk, something that's low friction and will let you slide in and out without affecting leather straps. But if you're putting watches on bracelets in here, you're not going to have an issue whatsoever. So there we have it. This is the Gochifix 2-watch winder. And I'm quite happy to say that this is now available on Amazon for $140 US. Prime shipping obviously ships free, but for $140, pretty cool. Currently, when I pulled up the Amazon listing, there's a $30 coupon code. So that takes this down to $110. So my dumbass is saying a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't make sense because I had my numbers wrong, and math says that 30% on a $140 item is way better than $30. So use code MikeyTT30 on Amazon for 30% off, which will take the price of this beauty down to $98. MikeyTT30, save yourself some dough. The link down in the description to the Amazon listing is an affiliate link. It's not an affiliate link with the company. It's just my normal affiliate link through Amazon. And using that code gets me no extra kickbacks or anything whatsoever. If you're in the market for a watch winder, I'm not saying that you should go run out and spend your hard-earned money on this. I'm not. because it's not perfect. As I was saying before my camera so rudely cut me off, it's not perfect for me. I really, and I know this is subjective, but I really wish the interior was black on this. It would make it that much more sleek and refined for me. When I look at this, I see the wood grain, I see the tan interior. It kind of reminds me a little bit more of like my dad's cigar box or something like that. Not that I'm not going to keep this and use it, because these two watches are watches that I should wear more often, and quite honestly don't wear as often as I should, because if I'm running late in the morning, trying to get the kids to school, all of that stuff, I don't have time to reset a watch that has lost its charge, so to speak, that has lost its wind. And I'm typically grabbing my Citizen Tsukiyomi because it's powered by light and set by the atomic clock. So that thing is like the most grabbiest and goiest of watches ever. But I think this is going to change that, because now I'm only going to have to fiddle with these. I mean, as I record this, it's April 30th. So I'm going to have to fiddle with them tomorrow, because April's not a 31-day month. But after March 1st, they're going to be good to go for 2 months. Anytime I want to wear them, grab and go. These make your automatic watches that you normally don't wear maybe as much as you should. I accidentally turned the lights off there. My bad. There we go. Got those lights back on. This effectively makes your automatic watches far more grab and go. And dare I say, something like this is a necessity if you have any sort of annual or perpetual calendar in your collection. Give this a look. Link in the description. Let me know what you think. Shoot me a comment down below. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys think of this watch adjacent review of a budget watch winder that I kind of think punches above its price point. They're doing pretty good here. Not sure about the name Gochifix, but it's not a watch, so you're not staring at it on the dial all day long. So they can really call the company whatever they want if they're going to give us quality for value.